When I'm walking down the street.
I do want to say to Doni and many of you in this room that over a very long career in this city, all of you have helped me and my colleagues tell the truth and to try to tell.
I may not look like you and you me, but
Take my hat off.
I'm from South Carolina, so I just.
What does this event mean to you, Miss Peggy Morris?
Oh, my heart.
Happy 20th anniversary.
My heart is about loving up on my sisters. Do you know what it feels like to have your sisters in the room? Done.
And dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. I am beautiful, I am blessed, but not just what you see in the flesh. I'm free from people, free from myself.
The doctor lived next door to the janitor, to the reverend, and the lawyer. We were together. Now we get so high and mighty that you create stress for your society because you don't like poor black folks either. That's a health problem. Get yourself together so I can stop being taking care of geriatric people and get back to pediatrics. I thank you, Doni, for all you've done. Let's keep doing it all the more.
Letting His glory shine through. Dare to be you, dare to be me, dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. And I dare you, I dare you, I dare you to be you.
First name's Doni, last name's Glover. Entered the winning for the long haul, baby. We made it. We made it. Never would have made it. And so did Mike Nyce make it. Mike Nyce, did you make it this morning?
I made it this morning, Doni. I made it. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, man. Mike Nyce. Mike Nyce.
Hey, we in here with you, Doni. Thanks for having me, my brother.
WEAA's own Hip-Hop Chronicles in the house.
We here. We here. We here.
Is this early for you, Mike?
This is way too early for me, man.
I know. That's how I felt, Mike. We doing this. Thank God I only had to go all the way downstairs. Mike Nyce, fresh back from Dubai, Abu Dhabi.
Yes,
What
sir.
was it? Man, what was it like? You ever been that close to Africa?
Never in my life. I can't wait to go back. It was a great thing, Doni. You told me I was going to have a good time.
Different.
A lot of different cultures, a lot of different people. You get to see how people really act, not just on the TV screen, up close. Man.
What did you expect to see?
I didn't think it would be as modern as it was. It was very modern, a lot of technology. I thought it would be like, if you go to countries like places like Jamaica, you go to Punta Cana, you go to these different islands to go to the resorts and hang out on the beach and have a good time. You see a lot of old cars. Sometimes
like Cuba.
Yeah, exactly. Like Cuba, you see old structures, kind of beat down, old vehicles on the road from 1979. But you go over there, everything is new. I don't think I saw an old vehicle past 2018 over there.
Brand new everything.
Everything. Everybody got a what we call a PayPal. What is it? That thing you swipe with the chip to collect money? Everybody has one over there. So it's an amazing place. It's such an amazing place.
No poor people.
It depends on what you call poor.
Oh, you know what poor is, on the corner panhandling.
Well, they got money, but it's not as much money as they would like to have. So, for instance, we had a tour guide, and she was from India, and she's considered to be poor in India, but in Dubai, she was able to make a nice salary that I'm talking $1,000, $2,000 a day. Whereas in India, that's a lot of money. She's rich, but she's living moderate in Dubai. So
So poor in Dubai is damn near rich anywhere else in the world.
Anywhere, no, not in the world, but in the surrounding area, yes. And that surrounding region, you got a couple dollars if you can hang out in Dubai. I mean, it was a good experience. And mind you, Dubai is not as expensive as people think. So people think Dubai, it takes a lot of money to go over. You got to spend a lot of money when you get there. Not necessarily. You can live a pretty. I actually watched the video before I went. You can live on $100 a day in Dubai, and that included the room. Well, he had to split the room, but what that did was it showed me that it's quite similar to living here. But if you go to Dubai, and Dubai was built for rich people, the wealthy. It was built from that oil money. So if you have money like that, you can definitely find ways to spend it.
I feel like I got stock in Dubai. I paid a lot of money for oil over the years. I feel like I should be getting some bennies on Dubai.
Donnie, believe it or not, they will invite you. They love us. They love people in Dubai. They love us. People in India, they're pretty rude, if you ask me, in my opinion. They're pretty rude. But from what I understand and what they explain to me, they just don't know any better. That's just the way they are. But people in Dubai love our culture, love our people, love what we do. A little bit racist, if you ask me. I think we were walking through, because I went with a group of people, about 23 people, guys and girls. And what happened was, as we got to the place called the Souk, which is like a flea market. It's like you walk through the little town it's real close, and they got a bunch of shops everywhere. They start calling us stuff like Obama. I'm like, where's Obama? You Obama. I'm not Obama. Called one guy Young Jeezy. Jay-Z. I'm like, that's the most racist. But when I went back to the hotel, I started talking to people about it. I'm like, I felt some type of way. They was like, nah, they love you. That was their way of showing they respect your culture and they enjoy your culture. They definitely wanted your money, but they love you. They knew who we were. So
I called them Mahatma. Hey, Mahatma.
I don't know, man. They wanted your
Mahatma.
money. They wanted our money. It's racist.
You Mahatma.
Right? That's what I thought. I said, no, Donald Trump.
I got jokes.
I was like, no, I'm Donald Trump. They think Obama. No, Donald Trump. But
you know, one thing about the people in India, but I'm thinking more so Pakistan. You know, over here in America, if we haven't studied geopolitics, we may not understand the bigger picture.
Talk to him, brother.
If you look at the geography, you know, India, got Pakistan, Bangladesh. Considering India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, at one point that was all one country. So India got like 1.2 billion, but you add in Bangladesh and Pakistan, it's more people in that part of the world than next door in China. So between India and China, you got half of the world's population.
Yeah.
And they not scared.
Not at all. They don't know any better. They don't. They
know better when that left connect to that jaw.
No, they be like, they get up and keep moving. Believe me, we went to the mosque, and like I said, we had a large group.
What happened at the mosque?
Well, a couple different things. The young ladies, they're very strict when going to the mosque. We went to the Grand Mosque in Abu Dhabi. First of all, there's a mall in the mosque. So before you actually get to the mall, you go through this underground tunnel and it comes up and brings you in the mall. You can buy, go shopping. And there's a lot of local vendors there, because what they want you to do is, if you're not dressed appropriately to go into the mosque, you can buy the outfit there. You can buy your garb there. So a lot of our women, some of them, you know, thick sisters, they wind up having to cover up some of the curves. Some of them had
you can't show no skin going into the mosque.
You can't show no skin, no curves, no hair. The women had to cover up.
You're saying the shapely black women.
Yeah.
With them rounded curves.
They
like, ho.
Can't see.
You can't come. Do you know why?
I don't know. You might want to enlighten me. All I know is they said, no. They stopped us in line like 3 times.
Because the brother behind her ain't going to be praying.
You ain't never lying.
It's going to be Allah. Whoa. Allahu Akbar. You have a problem. It's not, they say in their culture that a woman is supposed to dress modestly. They ain't supposed to see nothing that distract them from Almighty Allah.
Absolutely.
And they say them sisters coming in there thick and heavy, they are already distracted. Let me tell you one experience I had, man. Back in 2002, I was with some black journalists, about 8 of us. We were with Billy Murphy's brother, Arthur Murphy.
Okay.
God rest his soul. And one sister and I were in a sword shop. It was just she and I. And we weren't really the closest on the trip. But nonetheless, we were partners in this particular store. A sword shop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Lawrence of Arabia and all of those racist movies.
Yeah, I got you.
You know, you see an Arab on a camel with the turban or the hatta, they call it the hatta, and all kinds of swords. So I was really intrigued by the swords. And so was she. And the sword shop owner knew it. So she wanted to take a picture with the sword shop man. Sisters, they are not your friend. Respect that black man with you, because like Mike Nyce, he might be the one to save your life. Anyway, he asked her to put the burqa on. The burqa, that's the thing you slide over. It ain't not this, but this showing. I go to snap the picture. All of a sudden, I see her eyes get like real wide. And I notice he grabbing all of her hind parts.
Whoa.
Yeah. They give you all of these advisories. No wife beaters, no shorts, and it's just for the men. But you pull back that curtain, you find the same coke, dope, ready rock, little boys, pornography, strippers, hookers, and the whole 9. So one thing I want to say is black people, don't put nobody's culture above your own. Number 2, know where you going. You go to these different places, know the culture. Number 3, you better know your value, because if you don't know your value, you can find yourself sold as a slave in 2023. You know they still snatching slaves.
There's slaves. There's slaves out there.
Human trafficking is real.
Yeah. In Dubai as well. I heard stories about how they're having that country built by Africans that come over. They pay them minimum wage, or they just pay them housing and make sure they can live. Give them money at the end of the month so they can make their living. They keep them over there for a couple of months, send them home. When they're over there, they work all day, sleep 6 hours, come back to work all day.
Black people, pay attention when you go to these foreign countries. Yeah. Pay attention. Stay awoke.
Yep.
They got slavery going on in modern day 2023. Boy, don't you hate it when the people call you while you're on the air?
I mean, you're busy. There's money.
2023. Modern day slavery is real. Libya. When they took Muammar Gaddafi out, he was assassinated. The head of a sovereign nation. Remember Gaddafi, Libya, Benghazi. You snatch a strong man out, everything gonna collapse. He was holding it together. You take him out, and then you see how he was holding it together. He wanted one currency for all of Africa. and he got killed on the watch of the first black president. Kind of like Baltimore Gas and Electric gets to take over the underground conduit systems under Calvin Butler. Same thing. We got to start paying attention to macroeconomics, microeconomics. How was the food, Mike?
Food was great. Interestingly enough, they had everything that we have over here. You'd think that they don't have any pork. They wouldn't have any bacon or pork sausage. They did have it, but I saw a lot of
pork sausages, Mom.
But I saw a lot of turkey bacon and stuff. Otherwise, their food, I think they live off the seasonings. So it was a lot of spice going on. They have this thing called what is it called? It's like a taco thing, but it's a what is the little taco they have over there? I forgot. Shawarma. It's called a shawarma. So you gotta have a shawarma when you go to Dubai. When you go to the Middle East, you gotta have a shawarma. It's pretty good. I thought it was gonna be nasty, but it was very tasty. Very tasty. And another thing I want to say about going over there to Dubai, it's a place where everybody goes. So you can find a little bit of every culture over there if that's what you desire. People think I'm going to go over there, I'm just going to have camel milk and camel meat. Nah, there's everything over there. It's a very wealthy country.
I'm not eating no damn camel meat. I ain't eating no horse. Unless I have to. I ain't eating no rat. I hope that God I never had to eat no rat.
He put that in past tense. Like, I hope I never had to.
No, never have to.
You never had.
I've never eaten rat, not that I know of, but hey, you know, we like running up in people's spots. We don't know what we have eaten. But you know, your body will tell you like, this ain't right. Do you know Nyce from Land of Kush?
Yes, yes.
All right, Nyce said, but in Africa, can't women expose their bodies? She like to understand more. And this is something else Nyce said. Is that more because men can't control themselves? You know, I tell you, when you travel abroad, the respect that women get in the U.S., it ain't like that in every other country. Did you find that women were second-class citizens in Dubai?
I wouldn't say they were second-class citizens. There were women everywhere, and women did have control. Women did run some shops. Women did have some businesses. But in instances where we went to like Ferrari World or to hang out, they definitely were behind the man. The man led the situation. So I think that's part of that culture over there.
When I was in Jordan, if a woman, daughter, sister, mother was known to be fornicating, she could get stoned to death.
Oh, yeah. 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 And another thing that you bring that up, Johnny, they said the crime over there is so low because
ain't no stealing. Ain't no stealing.
They don't play.
Ain't no stealing.
They cut your hand off. You won't do it again.
Yeah. Ain't no stealing. You know how you gotta have ring lights and all of that?
No need over there.
No need. Come here, holler at you. Let me see your hand. Let me see your hand. Let me see your hand. Chop, chop. You won't be stealing with that hand no more because that hand is now a nub.
And to answer her other question, I don't think it's because men can't control themselves. I think it's just a part of their religion.
Yes, it is. Oh,
I think it's right. Religion and culture.
No. Hey, it's more barbaric. Don't put them people above yourself, above your own culture. And black women, you better know where your side is butted. You go over there messing around in them countries, you come up missing. Slavery, trafficking is real.
Yeah, and even in the U.S., Donnie.
The NFL Super Bowl is the #1 trafficking event in the world.
Explain. What you mean?
Google it. The event in the United States that features more trafficking, prostitutes, young girls, the Super Bowl.
What?
According to Dr. Patricia Newton, she was best friends with Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Both of them were psychiatrists. The Super Bowl, #1 trafficking event in the world. Look it up. I ain't making it up. Because think about the Super Bowl coming to town. Horny Bob, the Denver Bronco fan, he wants a young girl, he wants an old girl, he wants a boy, he wants a grown man. Sex. But over there in the Middle East, same thing. Don't get it wrong. And then you got people, you don't know what their gender is. I'm sure you've seen it in other countries. People that you don't know their gender. You see them walking down the street, you thought it was a girl. Wasn't a girl.
I thought you said gender. He said gender.
Yeah. What about the music? Did you hear any music?
Again, the American culture, the hip hop culture is everywhere, and I thought that was really amazing. When I got there, Electronic Music Festival had just left Abu Dhabi, but the following weekend they had a concert that had rappers like Uzi Vert, Lil Uzi Vert, whatever his name is. A bunch of our rappers were going over there. But in addition to those rappers, those MCs, those artists, they had artists from like Nigeria coming in. They had artists from Africa coming in. Well, another part of Africa coming in. They had people from all over the world with rap music, and they were advertising it as some big music fest. It was an international Abu Dhabi music festival. So our music is everywhere. And that Punjabi music, they love it. I don't know if you remember the song with Jay-Z and Punjabi MC. That track came on. I have a video online. That track comes on, they went crazy. So, again, our culture is everywhere. Music is great music.
I'm a little scared when you say our culture, because I'm not owning some of the people in the rap world.
Yeah, but you sing a Jay-Z song quick. You've been known to recite some DMX lyrics fast.
I've also been known to recite some legendary last poets. The Triggers are scared of revolution. But Triggers shouldn't be scared of revolution, because revolution is nothing but change, and all Triggers do is change. Niggas coming from work and return to the street to make some quick change. Triggers change their hair from black to red to blonde and hope like hell their looks will change. Or I might like some Cannonball Adderley or some Billie Holiday.
All our culture, they love it. What I found too is they got a lot of cover songs.
I ain't gonna say all of that hip hop is my damn culture.
So everything you just said was being played. They even had songs where a Michael Jackson song, a Janet Jackson, a Beyonce song was being covered by another international artist.
They will steal your rhythm
quick.
But will they steal your blues?
Quick. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like what you did there, but yeah, quick.
We don't even know our culture in many degrees. If all we know about black people is hip hop, they don't know black people. Come on now.
See, I feel stereotyped right there. I said nothing about
ourselves.
I said nothing about you did. I said nothing about our culture being hip hop. I said they like our culture.
What is our culture?
Marvin Gaye is a part of my culture. That's sexual healing.
What about hog maws and chitlin?
Who? Hog maws and chitlin? I don't eat that.
Your ancestors did.
That's that Southern culture, maybe.
Southern culture.
And Naja know about that. Naja can tell you about that. She ain't eating that. We not eating that.
Why can't women expose their curves of skin and so? Because you will get your head chopped off. If it is religious culture versus men can't control it. Naja, that independent black woman thing don't work in the Middle East. You will be stoned to death. Pay attention. You see Iran? You see with them women, every time them Americans go over there, oh, the Iranian women, why they All right, let them cameras go off. Let the Western media go and see how they carry it over there. You can bring all of that Western. Remember Obama tried to take, for instance, when Obama went to Africa, one of the things he wanted to talk to them about was homosexuality. And the people in his home country, Kenya, said, go away, little boy. Take it back to America. Go back. That's what happened. We want to, we don't even know who we is. We better find out who we are before we go talk about we and us and them and you. We might be more identifiable to their ways than we realize. Or we may not realize how Europeanized we are.
I can see that. I feel you on that, but we need to I think each individual needs to figure out who they are before we start talking we, us, them.
Okay, but the thing is, like, it's hard for us to get so independent. See, America is geographically isolated. We don't speak French, which they speak in Canada. We don't speak Spanish that they speak in South America. We are 13% of the population. Do you know Latinos are more here than anybody else? Latinos, they have overtaken the number of black people in America. It's changed. It's really changed. Hey, Mike, we got to do this quick segment for a second. Hold tight.
Holding tight.
And it's a good contact for you. Let me put up a couple of trap culture, rap culture. And boy, Nyce is just going in. You know Nyce from Boogie Down Bronx, right?
I know Nyce from New York.
Oh my God, who are you? Figure that out first. Who are you? I can hear Nyce. Who are you?
Exactly, I agree. Figure that out first before we talk about we, us, them.
So, Mike, one of the groups that keep this show alive is the Salvation Army. And we have with us Sharon. How you doing, Sharon?
I'm good. How are you both doing?
And Mr. Reggie. What's up, Mr. Reggie?
Oh, man. Peace and blessing. Woke up this morning.
Where you from?
Baltimore, man. Baltimore, West
Baltimore. I can hear that. It ain't no New York, Baltimore. It ain't no Tennessee, Baltimore. East or West?
West Baltimore. Poplar Grove.
Oh, oh my God. Man, my daddy. Hey, Mike, that's one place my daddy said, do not go.
Yeah.
So you from the 1600 block?
Yeah, 2800 block, right off the Grove. Right off with it Lambell and Poplar Grove.
Huh?
Lambell and Poplar Grove.
Lambell.
Yeah.
Well, you close enough to know. Watch this, Mike Nyce. Who was Brady?
Brady?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Up Poplar Grove?
Yeah.
I heard he used to make people go airborne over the bridge.
Oh my goodness, you know that story?
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
Don't.
Man, look, that's not a story, brother. I was there. I watched that. But do you know the end of that story?
I believe I can fly.
That man turned over in midair, and you know it was a train coming, right?
Yeah.
Whoa. That man turned over in midair and kept running. I've never seen nothing like that in my life. Yes, sir. I watched it. I seen it. And I stopped hanging up there, too, because I decided I didn't want to be a thug at that point. Right.
Brady and them would throw him over that bridge, bro.
Yes, sir.
He said he stopped in midair, did a 180.
Yep. And he landed on his feet and kept running. I mean, it wasn't a fast train. It wasn't a fast train, but it was a train coming. And I was wondering, what was I doing there? Right. And yeah. Man,
Mr. Reggie, how old are you, Mr. Reggie?
I'll be 70 this year. 70.
Man, you look great.
Yeah, man, God is good, bro. God is good.
So Sharon, this is Mr. Mike Nyce next door. He is WEAA. He is Baltimore. He is New York City.
Wow.
My big brother here. What you got me by, like 4 years, Mike? You like 62?
I'm about 48. I'll be a big brother, though.
Yeah.
Little big brother.
Mike Nyce, every Saturday morning, 10 o'clock. I'll be right there, brother. I'm with you.
Thank you, Mr. Reggie. We appreciate that. Throwback Saturdays with Larry Lancaster, Mike Nyce. Tune in. Hey, we appreciate all the love, man.
Man, you've been starting my day for a couple of years now. Saturday, right? I start at 5 and go to the end.
Oh, he rock with Robert, too. It's a beautiful thing.
Man, yes. It's the only way to start. It rejuvenates me.
Yeah, that's a blessing.
Yeah, it's a blessing, man.
Hey, thank you, Naja. Thank you, Naja. You look great, too. I see you. It's that good food you cook and make over there. I see you.
Yeah, you know, Naja has the land of Kush down on MLK and Utah.
Oh, wow.
She and her hubby, Gregory Brown, they've been there on that corner for, shucks, How long, Nyce? Well over a decade, I would imagine.
A long time.
I met Danny Glover down there. We hung out. Hung out with Danny Glover at Land of Kush, the vegan spot. And they got these 11 years, happy 11th anniversary. They got these vegan ribs and a vegan crab cake.
That sounds great.
Yeah, you got
delicious.
Okay, so Sharon, tell them who you are. Tell them what you do, Sharon.
So I am the community relations director for the Salvation Army. I handle communications and I help with community relations. And I have a list of events I'd like to share.
Come on with it.
About what the Salvation Army is doing. So we do summer camp every year. I'm not sure if you all are aware of that. And summer camp is open to the public. Any child that wants to do summer camp at a good discount, it's just $25 per kid, can email William Boone, our director of the Boys and Girls Club, at william.boone, BOONE, at uss.salvationarmy.org. And the great thing about Camp with the Salvation Army is it's at a good discount, that it's affordable. So families that are juggling 2 or 3 jobs or in financial need can afford this. And we have our own resources.
Boone, help me out. William.Boone at
uss.salvationarmy.org. And a summer camp is during the first week of July. So there's still plenty of time. And we also have a golf tournament coming up July 19th at 9 a.m.
Is that right?
At the Rolling Golf Club. So all proceeds from the golf tournament go straight to our Feed More mobile canteen, which provides warm meals 6 nights a week in East Baltimore to street homeless. I highly recommend, if you are a golf lover or if you want to donate to a great cause, visit www.sa-md.org to register to be a part of the golf tournament and to help more people who need food, because hunger is going up. There's all sorts of food insecurity. So the Salvation Army, we have events, we have resources to help with that. And our Temple Corps is part of a Proclaim for Peace for the City Easter event. And this is open to the public. So for Easter sunrise at the Inner Harbor at Baltimore at McKeldin Square, April 9th from 6 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., 30 churches from all across Baltimore City are going to come together to pray for the children and the families of Baltimore City who are struggling. Prayer is a weapon for peace. We're all coming together. Please come join us so we can pray for everyone's safety and pray for a better future. And it's led by Captain Michael Chisholm.
Amazing. Nice. 30 churches. Wow.
Yep. And Mr. Reggie, will you be at...
most definitely.
Mr. Reggie's going to be there.
I'm always. Easter, I try to do a little bit more.
Hold on, Mr. Reggie. I gotta ask you about that outfit you got on. What you got on there?
Oh, this standard Salvation Army standard. I'm a soldier, right? You know what I like to make people understand about Salvation Army is we are not so much an organization. Okay, I had to find out myself. We are a church. Simply put, we are a church. And everything that you see Salvation Army doing comes from the church, right? And the church in our area here, our local area, is Baltimore Temple. That's the church that I have attended for the last 25 to 28 years, right? And
what the music like, Mr. Reggie? Come on now, they got that.
Yeah, well, you know, right now I got myself
oh my Lord,
old Southern pastor, right? So yeah, it's been good for me, right? You know what? Everybody has a vehicle, right? And for me, the vehicle is the Salvation Army. If you are a Protestant, then that's your vehicle. If you're a Catholic, that's your vehicle. I'm a Salvationist. Salvation Army is the vehicle I use to follow the words that are written in that book, right? All too often, we talk about the Bible, but we don't live it.
Yep.
I'm doing my best, right? I'm doing my best. Baltimore Temple, right, has a distinct history here in Baltimore, right? When the Salvation Army first came to America, the first place they landed was New York. The second place that they came was Philadelphia. In Philadelphia, two brothers walked to Baltimore and founded the third church in the entire nation. Baltimoreans don't know that.
Wow.
Right? And I like the idea that they've tried to do what they could do, right? A Baltimore history, Baltimore Temple have a distinct history. The first Black at the turn of the century pastors, right? The first ones. Although I got to tell you now, got to be honest and come straight up. The fire in Baltimore,
The Great Baltimore Fire of 1904.
the Great Baltimore Fire burned up. I went to Atlanta.
Hold on, finish that. What happened?
I went to Atlanta and I wanted to know what the history of Baltimore Temple. Look, I knew as little about Salvation Army as most people know very little about Salvation Army. So I was researching, and most of the records were burned in the Great Fire. But they do know at the turn of the century, right, they instituted a Black couple, right, to be pastors at Baltimore Temple. Not necessarily the one that I physically go to now, but with that name, right? And we don't know what happened to him. Gotta be honest, right? We don't know what happened to him, but we do know that they instituted at a time when nobody was doing that, right? That is our history. That's ours, right? That's Baltimore history, right? And consider this. Not only would that is commendable, it's okay. But you know what's even greater? They had a Black woman preaching. That's a step even above that. And that is our history. That is who we are. Baltimore Temple has been doing quite a job and quite a work for a long time. And I am nothing but the latest iteration standing on the shoulders of a whole lot of folks. I got another ironic thing for you. When we first came to Baltimore, right, we started on Pennsylvania Avenue. Can you believe that?
I can.
Two block, 3 block area where all the Blacks in Baltimore lived, right? Wasn't just what we see in the 60s and early 50s. Pennsylvania Avenue was all we had at one point, right? And the Salvation Army started this church down there. I don't have my records, words. I did a history, and I don't have it with me, but it was a church off of the avenue that allowed us to preach, teach in their basement, right? So it was one of those community churches that helped the Salvation Army get established. We have so much history here in Baltimore City with the Salvation Army, not the organization, but the church.
Did you know that Baltimore had the largest population of free Blacks prior to the Civil War?
Oh, brother, history is my thing. Yes, sir. And
so
a lot of them
always been a haven for Black people.
Always been a haven. Frederick Douglass worked right downtown, Fells Point, because the largest employer of free Black men was the caulking business.
And this is while slavery was going on.
While slavery was going on. As a matter of fact,
so not all Black people were enslaved.
No. And in Baltimore.
And not all white people were free.
Right. Right.
We don't know that.
We don't know that, man. We don't research our history. Right?
Or other people's history.
Or other people's history. You know, when I do my own personal, I'm kind of appalled at the Irish, right? Do you know what potato famine means, right? Look into it. Do you know what what happened? You see in the West Coast, John Wayne and Buffalo Soldiers. But what happened to the East Coast? You know,
You might want to get my book, I Am Black Wall Street, because we talk about some of that history, how they put all the black people out of Florida. They didn't have Donald Trump back there. His name was Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson on a $20 bill.
Yeah.
Read this book. That's my book, I Am Black Wall Street. Andrew Jackson was not your friend.
No, I know. History, man. Straight up. Straight up.
Like the Orioles. You know, I would like the Orioles, but the Orioles ain't got no damn black people on it. The Ravens got all these black people. The Orioles ain't got no black people. When black people put baseball on the map, I don't understand it. So the Orioles better get it together. I say because the Orioles just got a pop-up thing come on my screen. But I used to love the Orioles, man. You from Baltimore. Mike Cuellar, you know, Elrod Hendricks, Ken Singleton, Al Bunbury, Paul Blair, Frank Robinson.
Well,
name one black person. Hey, Mike Nyce, name one black person on the Orioles.
This season, I can't.
Adam Jones was
the last one I remember. Adam Jones was the last one I remember.
Like a decade ago. Barack Obama was president.
The owner of the Orioles is one of the people that was on my prayer list. I met him down at the Inner Harbor, and I let him know that I would pray for him. That was the father.
I pray I'll put some of them in the harbor.
Yeah.
You know, we got too many black people in this town for us not to be doing better.
Oh, yeah.
They say that not everybody your color is your kind. So, you know, too many black people for us to be struggling with vacant houses. Hey, let me ask you this. What do you think about these young boys shooting each other like it's the Wild Wild West?
Man, you know what? Actually, to tell you the truth, you know, I go back to a perspective, right? Straight up out the Bible, straight up. If you ask somebody about what the Salvation Army is and who we are, right? I just simply hold up a Bible and tell them this is who we are and this is what we are. And when you talk about a generation of children who are going buck wild, you got to know that we've had
It started at home.
2 or 3 generations that have been lost. 2 or 3 generations that have been raised by children.
Hey, Sharon, you got kids selling their mother crack and dope.
And then you got parents who accept the money. Do you know what would happen if I brought home something to my house back in the 60s and I didn't work for it? Right? Man, grandma would have took my head off. You know what? A lot of what we do to ourselves. A lot of what we do is because we have forgot where we came from. You know what? Years ago, point of fact, there was a man who handed a slave a Bible. And can you imagine that when he walked away, they was chuckling to themselves. And they said, he can't even read. Well, look at where we are now. But the problem is,
some of us could read. Some of us could always read. Some of us could speak multiplicity of languages. Be careful when people start telling you, because then you start thinking that we were like ignorant. Don't forget, long before the European got here, we were already here on these shores. There were black people already here in the Caribbean and South America, long before the European got here. Matter of fact, we were traveling across the Atlantic and showed the European. Columbus had a black tour guide. Remember that, Pedro Nino Alonso. You want to get this book, I Am Black Wall Street.
Oh, well, like I said, I'm always up on my history.
Don't believe everything them folks been telling you. We've been here. Did you know you got Egyptian artifacts in the Grand Canyon? Look up Kincaid's Cave. Black people been here. The European is the one that's new.
Look, I'm always up on my history.
My brand now, Reverend Mike.
Yeah. Look, I'm always up on my history, and I do recognize that on Plymouth Rock, they had both freed slaves, they had indentured slaves, right? And 50 years later, they transferred that over. So yeah, when they landed on Plymouth Rock, right, there was both white and black slaves. Look, I study to say what I say. And like I said about the generations, we have generations that don't read that Bible anymore. Straight up. They don't read that Bible. They don't live that Bible. Right?
Mr. Reggie,
and trust and believe.
Mr. Reggie, you believe in spankings?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Damn
now,
right.
I'm not sure how everybody else.
That's the problem. There was a time when you could spank your child. Now, kid gonna tell you gonna call the police. Call the police on my mother. And we ain't say mother.
No.
Call the police on my mother. See where you be at. You're supposed to be at the front door. Come get him. Hey, come on in. And don't bring him back.
Well, I did do that. I had a child. Look, let me tell you, a total of 12 children came through my house because drugs devastated my family. I did what I could to keep the family together, okay? And I did that without welfare because it was a failed system, and I didn't want my children to be a part of it.
Not only a failed system, Mr. Reggie, it was a part of the destruction. Hey, Mike Nyce, you remember that movie Claudine?
Yeah.
What happened in that movie Claudine, man?
I can't tell you the details. Let me take it back. Is that the one with the garbage truck?
Yeah, James Earl Jones. He was with the
the family, and
the welfare worker came around. James Earl Jones had to grab his clothes and run out the back door because that was the beginning of the destruction of the black family.
I lived that story. I lived it. I seen my father have to take the toaster and other stuff and go hide in the closet. I lived that story.
What?
So, yeah, man, this is real stuff. This ain't no game. This is real stuff. I watched that happen. But like I said, my son asked me where was his check, because all of these children weren't they were my nieces and my nephews. And one of them asked me, where's my check? I'm supposed to get a check. And from that point on, I was not for that program.
Hey, Mike, where my check at? I'm supposed to get a check.
That's what he said. He was supposed to get a check. I couldn't raise a son thinking that he was owed something, that he didn't have to go out and earn it. So you know what? When I went to, and then also when I went to get some money to get some help, because I had I had 4 children that come in my house at one time because my wife's aunt died. And she told me, she said, well, I guess I ought to tell you now, I'm pregnant. So we had 1, we gained 4, and all of a sudden I was responsible for 5 children, right? So you know what? I was scared to death, but I had to do something, right, to take care of my family right here in Baltimore, right? And what I did was what I felt was right. I turned down the money. Welfare told me to lie, and I refused to do that, right? I live by my own self. I live by my own means, black or white, because everybody gonna tell you how they want you to live, right? And I find the truth.
Hey, Mike, would you allow where you took the money? I might have took that money, man.
I'm gonna say I have taken the money.
We take that up with Jesus and the law a little later. Right now, we got to eat. We going
I did have one problem. I had one problem. My problem was
hungry. You was hungry. You had a missed meal cramp.
No, what I did was I did overtime. I didn't play. I wasn't playing. My thing was this, right? I had to raise these children up.
Mr. Reggie, I might have took that money.
I had to raise these children up to be, well, what I did was made arrangements. What was more important than the money was the health care. And social services took care of the health care, right? All of them, all of my children. Because eventually I had more, right? I had a total of 12 altogether. I didn't ever have to worry about health care for those children. But as for the money, I worked, and I worked hard. I gave that money to my wife.
You had 12 kids, Mr. Reggie?
Huh?
You had 12 kids?
All 12 kids came through my home. 12. Some of them stayed for a lifetime. One of them.
I thought you were talking about Nick Cannon or something. Okay.
No, not that kind of situation. He can afford his. I've been poor all my life.
No, he can't. You got to not just make them kids, you got to raise them kids.
You got to raise
them kids. You got kids in all these different households in different states. Come on, man.
Plus, I raised
hold on, Mr. Reggie. Mike, what do you think about that? Can you have a bunch of kids and you in one household and they in a bunch of households and you call yourself responsible because you sending a check?
Nah, you got to be there in their lives. You got to be there after school. You got to be there to take care of them. Go to the school when they get in trouble in school. You got to go to the school, and you can't. It's going to be hard to do that for 12 kids. I don't care how much money you got.
In different parts of the country, people don't even want to go across town.
Yeah.
You got to get on the plane to go see Kiki teacher.
I kept my kids in the church.
You got to go to all of those.
In the church.
Woo.
I kept them in the church. Yep. I kept them busy. I kept them in the martial arts. I kept them in the church. I kept my children busy. I kept them in school.
Where they learn martial arts?
Say that again now?
Where did they learn martial arts?
With Brian Washington, right? We learned by way of Brian Washington. And we ended up being a family of martial artists. We lived down on Monroe and Lafayette.
Where?
We Monroe and Lafayette. We live in Monroe and Lafayette, right where the hardware at. Other words, when people talk about, I was a mailman for almost 30 years. And I used to smile when people tell me I worked at Park Heights. And they used to tell me about how difficult things was. And I would smile and say nothing. But I said, man, y'all living better than I am. You have no idea.
Well,
right?
That's an upwardly mobile part of town. But listen, Sharon, we got to get up out of here. Sharon, what's the word you want people to get in touch with? Phone number.
Oh, if you want to get in touch with Mr. Reggie and to connect and to learn more about Temple Core and all the good that they're doing.
I have a lot more coming.
He has a lot more coming.
Well, Sharon, we had to get you set up with your own. I think it's about time you run your own news out. Don't you think that, Mike?
Yeah, set up. And Mr. Reggie, salute to you, brother, for all that hard work you did and the work you continue to do.
Yep.
Man, it's paid off, man. Honestly, God is good, brother. God is good.
What's that number, Sharon?
So it would be Captain Michael Chisholm's office number, since he's the head of Temple Core, and that would be 410-783-2920, extension 50104.
They might have to shorten that number. It's too early in the morning. Ain't nobody remembering all them extensions now.
It's a lot. I know.
Too early in the morning, Sharon. Come on now.
I know, but it is what it is. And it's the best way to get in touch with Mr. Reggie and to learn more about Temple Core and all the good that they're doing.
Sharon, you ain't never seen that movie, Chisholm, John Chisholm. It was a John Wayne movie.
I've never seen it.
Me neither. But hey, fun fact, Orioles have at least 2 black players on their squad right now. Their names are Cedric Mullins, and they got Dylan Tate, a pitcher. So
we got 2 black players in a majority black city. Wow.
All right, we're going to take what we get.
Jeez. All right, we're going to get up out of here. Up to day, down tomorrow, do your day, and everything will follow. Nothing to it but to do it. I got to do it, regardless of how I feel. I am somebody. Thank you, Mike Nyce, for coming out. I am my brother's keeper. Good morning.
My brother's keeper. I share. Thank you, sir.